Here we are again, John. Feels like only yesterday.
I got my hair cut, so I don't have anything to flip anymore. Oh, hey, I got something for you. Hold on. Isn't he cute? Look at this guy.
What is
Hi,
it? Is it a
my
giraffe?
name is. He's a giraffe.
Oh.
Okay, never mind. All right, go ahead.
I frequently get students who write me and say they were given an assignment by their photo teacher to
Mhm.
pick a photographer and then to mimic their style or imitate their photographs. And I want to speak really to photo teachers. Bad idea.
Really,
Bad idea.
isn't that interesting? Wow, that is interesting. I've never had anybody ask me that question, but I'm just
Naturally.
but I'm sitting here going, wow, that's really interesting. So seriously, they're asked to pick somebody and then imitate that. I wonder what the intent is. But anyways, it
I
makes
think
me
that,
think. This is a million years ago. I have a local castle here called Font Hill, and I had exclusive access to bring photographers in there, and it was a blast. It's an arts and crafts home that Henry Mercer built, and it was turned into a museum, and it's really cool to photograph all this old beautiful tile in every room, and really, really colorful and gorgeous. You would hate it. It's colorful.
this isn't the sanatorium that you take people.
No, 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 it's not. This is a
Okay.
castle. This is literally about a mile and a half from where I live. But
Huh.
anyways, there was a gentleman, a good friend of mine, who came one day and he printed out a number of images that I had made at Font Hill. And I was like, what are you doing with that? And he says, well, John, I really respect you as a photographer, and I love these images. And so I just want to go find every one of these images and make sure that I can make those same images. It's the way I learn, he said. So I know that I love your work. It's not that I necessarily want to copy it, he said, but he was really interested in if I can go and copy them for this moment in time, it'll help me to see when I walk into a room that's chaos, how I could find something that's really artistic, if you will. And so I'm going to go and copy yours. It was
Hmm.
uncomfortable to some degree. I mean, I was like, okay, I'm not sure that's the best way, but that's the way he felt he could learn to see better and create other images. Yeah.
I've never understood this.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to put myself in the position of a photo teacher who might encourage others to do that. And what is their thought? Here's that photographer, you pick them, one that you admire. You like their look or their style, and trying to imitate it will help you somehow. What? Imitate others? I just don't understand it. To me, I would be encouraging them to find their own vision, not their own style,
Right.
to never imitate, but to be original in their seeing and their thinking. So, no, I don't appreciate, I don't understand it.
Yeah. Do you think it's possible that the art teacher's trying to make them aware of other artists and to because you and I come back and we butt heads a little bit on this. I think about music again, and people, all these artists listen to all these other musics, and they're influenced by Beethoven, they're influenced by classical music, they're influenced by Chuck Berry, by Muddy Waters and so forth. And they, when you talk to the roll or you hear the Rolling Stones be interviewed, they're talking about how influenced they were by Muddy Waters and so
They
forth.
didn't do
So
Muddy Waters.
that's right. Okay, so that's the key difference. So that's interesting. So you're right. So even though they're listening, they're certainly influenced, but they didn't have a music teacher say, "Now go copy Muddy Waters."
I suspect early on they probably did a lot of Muddy Water covers or other black musicians they loved because they were heavily influenced by black music.
Yes,
But let's face it, they found their own style and it had an influence, but it wasn't imitative.
it's interesting.
And
You
that's the
just
key.
used the word style. They found their own style. Yet a few minutes ago, yeah, isn't that interesting? So
Yeah.
in the music, are they finding their own style? But really, they're finding their own
Vision.
vision.
Yeah, you're
or
right.
what,
You're
and
right.
it certainly is going to be influenced by Muddy Waters, right? Or
Yeah.
Johnson or whomever. So yeah, it's interesting to think about. So maybe there's pure intent by that photography teacher, but I think you and I both agree it would be way better to go back to a previous episode to be that photography teacher and saying, what is your vision for your photography? And then that teacher becomes the mentor who helps them do things necessary to achieve that vision,
Yeah. Yeah.
rather than copy Cole Thompson and Mitch DeBrowner and Sarah Marino and yada yada, right? So
Yeah, I mean, we've all had it where people will take a picture and send it to you, and they're very proud that they caught a single cloud. And
yes,
I understand that they're being kind and nice, but I
yes,
think to myself, where is the joy in imitating others?
yeah,
If you go to Death Valley and imitate one of your images and then they proudly show it to you, where's the pride? It wasn't their shot, really.
yeah.
The pride comes from something that you've created honestly, uniquely on your own.
But I think that gets back to, again, previous discussions. If it's that new photographer, it's their first workshop ever, there is pride that they were actually able to stand up as Zabriskie. They learned in that moment from Cole and John that, hey, this is what a composition might look like up there. And they're remembering my photograph, and they say, hey, I did it. I finally got a good photograph. And it was because I saw this and I was able to make a derivative photograph of it. So that's what I think. I do think
Well,
there's phases that people go through. And then our job, and I think that's where we do a really good job, is on our workshops and tours, is that we say, that's great, Larry, Susan, Meg, whoever we're talking to, now dig deeper. What do you see beyond my picture? Is there something else here? Is there rhythm? Is there texture? Is there a color? Is it whatever? What are you seeing? And now make the next photograph that's
now in
yours.
our last workshop, I think it was the last one in Death Valley, we had the two sisters and they told a story of a photographer. They went on a tour with him and he
Oh, that's
literally
right.
placed their tripod, composed it, and insisted they shoot it exactly as is and would get upset
Got
if they
mad.
moved it or modified it or saw it differently. Now,
Yes.
they were smart enough to know there was no pride in
Yes.
coming home with a beautiful image that someone else had composed for them. But maybe there are some who just want to bring out that carousel with the big slide tray and show their friends their slides from their most recent trip to Death Valley with shot after shot that was incredible,
Yeah.
even though it wasn't their shot.
Yeah. And I think our encouragement today is to go back to the questions we've asked in the last couple of episodes. Why do you photograph? What do you think about honest work? All those things are so important to you and me, Cole, at this point in our journey in photography. Our invitation is to you to be thinking more deeply about why you do what you do. And I'm with you, Cole, as much as some people are probably going to be wincing a little bit in this episode. I'm okay with that, because that wincing might cause them to think a little more deeply about making more meaningful personal images that reflect vision.
Or maybe they are just a vacation photographer and really all they do care about, and there's nothing wrong with it, of coming home with a great document of their trip that's beautiful.
Sure, sure. But
Hey,
that,
I've got another topic. Let's talk about. I already forgot it. I had it 5 seconds ago. I'll remember it.
no, you won't.
I'll try.
All right, we'll wrap this one up, folks. Ring the bell, subscribe, like, share, all that stuff. And thanks for watching.